Okay, so you can find all the slides through this link. I may keep updating it, appending it. So you may find something different every time. And we will provide the recordings, and in the welcome email we have provided recording of the previous pilot training already. So you can feel free to share the materials for your colleagues, your friends, and recordings and the materials, etc. Again, a short introduction. So some of you may not know me. So I'm Dr. Leone, a senior e-learning technologist, and also okay, I'm sorry, my mistake. I should put it here. Yes. Again, I am senior e-learning technologist and also have several positions in organizations, etc. In particular, associate editor of the transactions of on-learning technologies. And I hope, based on the experience that I have, I tried ChatGPT for a few months and would like to share some of the experience. And of course, for some good news for Hong Kong U staff first. So right now you can use the GPT-4 through the Hong Kong U ChatGPT system already. So we will try this environment later on. Okay, so for students, I wish you can also use this environment soon. Of course, there are some other free alternatives, so which is the POE. So we will also, I will also give a quick demonstration through this POE, the Poe system later on. So that's why I believe for both students and for staff, you can use ChatGPT. It's either 3.5 or 4.0, so you can use it already. And so that's why it's time for us to learn something like this. And of course, we actually for Tele, we have different kinds of training. So these 2 weeks we focus on ChatGPT. Later on, we will also switch to some other tools. Camtasia is not an AI tools, but we still want to every year. So there are lots of people asking us to open course again. So that's why we open the Camtasia video training. And we also have some other more AI related things. So on prediction, on Notion, on stable diffusion, which is the drawing one, and the Canva AI. So all will be 12:30. So please check emails for the details. And today we have the agenda. So we will talk about ChatGPT. We will talk about the prompt design. Talk about one page, talk about how to detect the content. So again for students and for staff, so you may notice that actually in Hong Kong, you Moodle Turn-in plugin. So there is already a detection AI detection function within the system. So I can get into this some also demonstrate at the end. So if we have time. So students, if you just want to copy and paste the things from ChatGPT and use it for assignment, I suggest you not to do so because everything can be detected. And also we will have some demonstration on these 2 tools. I will show the results and explain the environment, etc. So today's training is more on tools. So less on pedagogical design and discussions because we have some other discussion forums on that. So of course, today's discussion is also we discuss in very layman way, with very generic details. So if you want to know the details, the technical details of the materials, so please go to this webinar. So which is actually on the mid of November before the launch of the ChatGPT. There are already some colleagues talking about language model, which is the foundation of the ChatGPT. So you can click the link here and jump to the video and you can watch the video already. So if you want to know more about technical details, so please check this website, this webinar. And also for pedagogical discussions, again, so we will have for every Wednesday, we will have discussion forums on various of things. So we discussed about TNL examples yesterday. So different teachers show different examples on how to use it, how to generate the syllabus, how to use it for peer evaluations, how to do the self-evaluation based on the AI generated contents, etc. So next week we will talk about the AI literacy. So I'm the one to talk about this and to manage the forums, and we have some other sessions. So if you want to join the forum, please check the email sent by Professor Ian Holiday. So let's before talking about the details, I want to have a survey first. So we did a survey last week. And we also want to gather more information from all of you because we want to know what should we provide the support or training in the future. So let's jump to this Mentimeter first, and I would like to share the link again to the system. Okay, so please go to this menti.com link and then to fill in the content. We want to learn from all of you. So your hurdles or experience, good experience, bad experience, etc., or the tools that you have used. Yes, right now we have around 160 students and or colleagues joining. So hopefully we have around 180 colleagues answering. So combining with the participants last week. Okay, I believe so we can start to have some quick discussions. Okay, so I believe so in Hong Kong, you first of all, the definition of AI tools is different from generative AI. So generative AI tools including ChatGPT, but if you're talking about AI tools itself, it can be Grammarly. So in general, so we allow students to use Grammarly, but of course every course may have their own definition or requirement. In general, we can use Grammarly to improve the content, writing, but we are not advising students to use those generative AI tools to generate all the content and then submit directly without digesting, etc. So that's the general principle. Okay, so here shows most around. So in combining with the participant last week, so we are almost 50% or of them, half is 50% of them use those AI tools before, and also 84, that means also around 45 or 40% of them will haven't used AI tools. Okay, so the next question will be, so what kind of tools you have used before? So yeah, so you can see for most of you have used ChatGPT. I believe you use the for some of you use the Hong Kong U ChatGPT. Some of you use the POE to access the ChatGPT. And of course, there are also number of you actually use the Grammarly. Myself actually have the monthly subscription of Grammarly. So on improving my writing. And you can see the journey for writing the drawing. I also have some drawing, maybe can share with you later on. And also Notion and Canva, they also have the AI, OpenAI to facilitate the creating process. Okay, and Perplexity. So Perplexity allows can provide you the proper citations. So because if you notice for ChatGPT, they will try to fabricate or try to create some reference that doesn't exist in the internet or in the world. But for Perplexity, if they have the reference, they are citing to a particular content, so properly. So you can use it as a reference, etc. Okay. Okay, so for some good and bad experience, so we have around 70 or 88 already. So including colleagues last time. So let me see any other further comments. So good experience or bad experience. So it's good for note taking. I will show you an example. Very good at summarizing things. There are some other bad experience. In particular, answers not correct, misleading. Don't know how to write the prompt such that answers more relevant, not able to answer. So it's true. So first of all, this ChatGPT can't give you correct answers. Cannot give you correct answers every time, or not relevant answers every time. Sometimes if the system can't understand the question, they may just fabricate some contents for you, which is wrong, and they tell you very in a confident way. So that's why it's really important for us to evaluate and criticize the answers provided by ChatGPT. So this is one of the AI literacy skills we need to learn. Okay, so yes, far from satisfaction. Today's workshop will be, I try to demonstrate some skills to use such that the answer can be more relevant to your needs. Yes, needs polish and review. Yes, so that's the AI literacy. Yes. Yes. Chinese is not good because of the database, so it will be better if we can use it in English. So we actually use the OpenAI API to access the ChatGPT. So that's why it's partially correct and partially wrong for this comment. Okay. So we use the OpenAI API from Microsoft to access the GPT system. Okay, thanks for the information. So let me see the next question. Okay, hurdles. Okay, so VPN, I believe is not the issue right now because we can either use the Hong Kong U1 or use the PoE one. Disconnection, so sometimes need to fact check. So that's the AI literacy. And for teachers and students, we need to have the AI literacy starting from this year. So because there will be lots of new content coming out, and we need to know how to fact check. So of course, one of the examples is you use different engines. So and then to compare between the answers, or you search from internet to verify the answer. That's important. Can't use GPT-4 for staff. You can use already. So starting from this week, you can use GPT-4 through the Hong Kong U system already. Okay, rating for Hong Kong U policy. Yeah, so that's what we want to learn from all of you. So please attend the forum discussions, because after those forum discussions, we will gather all the information or advice from all of us or all of you, and then to write the policy. And the new policy will be should be approved during the summer and will be used for the new academic year. Okay, so expectation. So learn something new, how to use. Okay, so that's I wish I can provide you some advice and tips. Okay, let's go back to the slides. Yeah, so you can keep writing the suggestions and comments. So let us know what you need for AI literacy training. Okay, so AI generative AI is about creating something new. It's about creating something new. It can be images, it can be music, it can be text, it can be videos. If you are familiar in this community, so actually generative AI comes last summer because of those images. Some people use generative AI to create some images and pictures, and then send to competition, and then get a champion or second runner up. And then that's the start of the generative AI comes to the general community. And if you are in tech community, you know actually these few years, generative AI is a very hot topic. And of course, right now we have the ChatGPT to create the content, the text. And if you notice, for Facebook, they have developed some engine to generate animations already through AI, but they just not released yet. So hopefully maybe half years later or maybe 1 year later, all of us can create our own animation or videos through text. Now, of course, everything actually based on AI. So that means it's based on existing data. So it's not creating something new. The system can learn how to do some things that the system know. So they have to use the existing data. They learn from it and create the new content that follows or fits the pattern. So it's not creating something new. But for most of the situations, we may need some things that the system can facilitate you to think of something more. So that's my interpretation. And of course, it can be used for there are lots of tools already: Stable Diffusion, Daily, Midjourney for art, for figures, and then ChatGPT for writing. Okay, so let's jump to the ChatGPT. So and it's we have around 180 participants. So let's talk about the prompt and ChatGPT system. First of all, I gathered some of the information from this GitHub. So if you want to know more details, so please check this link for more details. And of course, for Hong Kong U staff, you can use GPT-4 already starting from this week. And please remember, so there are terms and conditions. So please check and read these and follow the instructions before accessing the system. Okay, so just a one-page summary on the ChatGPT. In my opinion, actually, the ChatGPT allows we give an instruction to the system, and then the system can provide a detailed response. So you can consider it as a personal assistant, but you can work it 24/7. So personal, and you can provide personal information, personalized response. So based on the prompt. So as a teacher, I may think this is a very good tutor that can support students 24/7. If students have some questions at midnight, the system may ask the questions through the ChatGPT first. And of course, it can be used for 4 different things in general. So summarize the content. So even the raw data, Excel, even SPSS, and some people did try use it for descriptive statistical analysis. So and then feed in the data and then ask the system to do the statistical analysis. It works. So that's a summarizing. And so I will show you one example later on. And topic extraction, try to, based on the raw data, try to extract what this article is about. Try to translate the content to something else, for example, Chinese to English, or some other language to English, etc. And you can use for improving the spelling and grammar and writing. I will show you an example later on. Try to change a very layman plain English into Victorian English, and then expanding. So try to write emails, try to write content, try to summarize your whole articles into and then generate the titles, which is I talked to several colleagues, and they also mentioned, oh, I have difficulties to write a content, write the title for the whole paragraph, for the whole essay, and ask the system to give me some advice or ideas. So this is something that we can also use it for. And of course, there are different alternatives. So for Hong Kong, we use the Microsoft OpenAI service to access GPT system. For students, you can use POE, the Poe one, to access GPT system. If you want a proper reference, so please try the Perplexity. And you want to link your, you want to gather some most updated information. To do the analysis, you need to use the Microsoft Bing New. So the new Bing, and then because for OpenAI right now, the database is as I remember, is 2021. So that means if you want to ask the most updated content, it is not work. It should not work. If it cannot, you cannot ask the OpenAI, okay, so go to a certain particular HTML page, get the information, do a summary. It's not okay. But if you go to Bing, you can actually do something like this. So extract information from web page, from websites, and then do a summary immediately. This is something that can be done through the Bing. Okay, let's try something. So let me go to this page. So okay, I want to know something. So maybe I can ask the GPT system. Okay, so I want to know something about SDG 4.7. So SDG is a UN Sustainable Development Goals, as shown here, and then proposed by United Nations. And 4.7 is about sustainable education. So that's why, okay, so the content is okay. And you can see, you can often also use the GPT-4 for answering. For most of for this kind of writing, it should give the similar answers. But if you are talking about calculations or some more logical expressions or explanations, so GPT-4 will be more helpful. Okay, yeah, so you can see GPT-4. So for 4 and 3.5, the writing is different. It may give more in-depth information. So this is one of them. But sometimes you may think, okay, the content is too complicated, too long. I want to do a shorter one. So we can do again something like this. And let's try the 3.5. It seems faster. Okay, so let's summarize 4.7 in just 30 words. So you can see this one. So sustainable development. So promote education for sustainable. That's the goal for SDG 4.7. So actually, it's able to summarize. And of course, if you want to have a very long explanations, okay, 300 words. So the system can also provide you the long answer. But of course, as a user, our role, first of all, we need to write a good question. Second is to verify whether the answer is correct or not. So here shows, yes, for 300 words. So this is the response. So you can see, the first thing that I want to remind you is start to write some conditions in the prompt. So whether you want a long explanation, a short explanation, how many words, so for what purpose, for what audience, etc. So if we include more conditions in the prompt, so the answer will be much more relevant to your needs. And of course, if you are staff and you have time, so you can also use the you can also use the 4.0 for the usage, so for more accurate answers. Okay, so maybe I can okay, some people may think okay, so GPT can use for generating essays only. Can we do something else? Or for example, my assignments is more involved in calculation. So can GPT answer? So I actually tried one question here. So here shows an example. I have my own prompt, and then here shows a question. So it's actually from economics. So it's about tax per unit. So it's not talking about total test. In finals, it's about test per unit. It involves some theories, it involves some calculations. So I don't go to the calculation right now, but I can show you the final answer here. So you can see actually this is a response from ChatGPT 4, and it able, first of all, can think step by step, and then second can pick some theory for calculations, and then third can calculate, do some calculation, and then of course pass the answer to the next step and do the calculation again. And of course the good things or the bad thing is actually the final answer is wrong. So actually the system can give the final answer, and then but if you change detail, step 1 and 2 is correct, but step 3, since the system picked the wrong concept, so that's why the rest of the calculation is wrong. But as a teacher, you may still give some marks. So one for step 1 and 2. Yeah. So, and also for postgrad students, so please don't go just put in all the information and do a calculation, because in some of the situation is wrong. So in particular, if you are combining a lot logical thinking concepts and then calculation at the same time, you can. But the idea is that you may be stimulated or inspired how to do the calculation, but you have to evaluate the answers. Okay, so but of course, in summary, you can use the system to do some calculations combined with theories, etc. Okay, another one. So since we talk about explanations or gathering information, we talk about calculations. So let's talk about something else. So about language improvement. And also, I use this as an example because it actually tells us how to write a prompt. So first of all, in the prompt, we have several things that we should include in order to give a more relevant answer. So first is the instruction. So here is, I want you to add an English translator, corrector, and improver. And then this is the role of this bot. So you have to tell the bot what should the bot do. And then more details. So try to detect the language, translate, and correct and improve the version. Okay, so this is the instruction. Okay, in order to fulfill these tasks, there are some other requirements. So want to replace or some more detailed instructions. So why try to replace some layman terms into elegant upper level Victorian English version sentence. And then so this is the context, so to steer the model to have better response. And then we also have the output indicator. So talking about what kind of content should be included and should not be included. For example, here, so do not write the explanation. I just need the answer, but do not tell me what terms has been replaced, etc. And then at the end is the input data. Okay, so I go to school by bus in English. So it's actually primary school English lesson 1. So I go to school by bus. So, and then we can actually copy and paste this prompt to the system and then see what's happened. Okay, so let me see. So I tried several times. Every time the answer is different. So let me refresh the system again first. Okay, so it seems, yes. Okay, I go to, let me see, let's try the 3.5. I travel to school by bus. So let me try again. I communicate to school through bus. Can you give me another example. Okay, can you give me another translation? Maybe let me put this way. Another trans. Oh, okay. So this is the So maybe I should just copy and paste again. Yeah. So you can see, instead of I go to school by bus, there are several possible answers. Every time you can see, even they are using the similar term, but they are different. So even this one and this one, they are different, and they also have another version. So yes. And I go to school by bus. So every time you can actually have some other answers. So for GPT-4, sometimes it may have even more complicated answers. So let's see. Yeah, I journey to school aboard a bus. I'm not sure it's correct or not. I remember it should be correct. Yeah. So you can see, first of all, the answers is different every time, even we use the same prompt. So that's why some of the teachers may think, okay, so later on, everything will be stored in the Turnitin. We just consider it's a kind of plagiarism. It's not true because every time the answer is different. Okay. And then second, the answer is different. So, and of course, when you change the prompt, will give you another answer. Okay. So back to this question. So again, a quick remind is so in order to provide a more relevant answer, we have to have write a clear instruction, provide the context, include what not to be output or what to be include, and then at the end your questions. Okay. And of course, there are lots of prompts. So if I just pick one of them, so there are lots of already existing prompts. So as a translator, as a terminal, as a Excel spreadsheet. So some of the participants last time asked me whether it can read the CSV file. It cannot import the CSV file directly, but it can consider GPT as a kind of spreadsheet and output the information to you. So you can try this, and of course, though for this prompt, it may not be totally relevant to your situation. You have to design your own prompt. So that's your creativity. You can use this as a reference. Okay, using ChatGPT for teaching and learning. So I try several scenarios. Okay, I am a part-time teacher. I am part-time lecturer in Faculty of Education, so teaching educational data mining this semester. So that's why I may able to show you something. So first of all, we can design an essay assignment. So I want to design an essay assignment. So that's why I can ask ChatGPT to come up with the essay question. So and then which is about how technologies can be used in K-12. That means high school and secondary school and primary school. Okay. So what I can fit is I use the GPT-5 much faster. So you can see immediately the system can already send me a topic. Maybe I can pick another one. Yeah, so this one will be more relevant. So it's about, say, student-centered learning, promote critical thinking, and also accessible learning. So this topic is very long, right? So maybe we can ask system to provide a 300 words essay. So maybe 200 words, so much faster. Yeah. So and then the system can provide us the essay within 10 seconds. So that's why you should. Yeah, so you can see here. So yeah, so the first explanation and then another benefit and then counter discussion. So however, it's important to ensure, yes. And then so this is the GPT 3.5. If you go for GPT-4, the answers you take some more time, but the answers will be more detailed. And that you can also even try before is asking the system to provide rubric, and then grade the sample essay through the grade the sample essay through the provided rubric. So everything actually can be done within the system, but I don't go into details right now because we have so many things we want to demonstrate. And of course, so I just this is a hypothetical case, but I know there are some teachers really using it as a foundation. So they try to design some new course and they want to speed up the design process, and they try to use this approach to come up with some samples for them to write the final essay topic and also rubrics, etc. So this is really something that some teachers are doing already, but use it for foundation to write the final topic. And of course, I need to teach generative AI this month, right? So that's why I want to design a face-to-face training. So first of all, I want to know what should I teach. So I asked the generative AI, and then based on the system give me eight suggest topics. And then I ask, okay, based on these 8 suggest topics, so can you write me a title? And then the system provide me 5 examples. And actually those 5 examples is okay, but it's not too relevant yet. So that's why I rewrite one of the example. One of the suggestions will become like this. So creating the unseen application of generative AI in teaching and learning. So based on this title, write me a 150 words description for the workshop. And then the system able to write me one, and of course I need to do the editing later on. Okay, and then I use the first 3 items for promotion and for promotion purpose. And during the training, I need to extract some information maybe from a web page. So that's why I asked the system to write me a Python code. It works. And then can you write me a SVG code on drawing an Ethernet thread? So some people may ask, okay, for GPT, so can the system provide me a graphical answer? The answer is not yet, so not a complete one. But if you're talking about something very structured, so you can ask the system to provide a graphical file which contain SVG code and it able to show something. And even I ask, okay, so can the system provide me a location of Hong Kong U, and it actually provide me a link from Google Map. Okay, so these are something that can do. So first of all, writing something, suggest me what to do. Second, summarize the suggest topics into and generate a title for me. And then based on the title, write me a description. So these are about tests. And it can also, in terms of tests, we can do something else. So Python code programming is a kind of test. So we can write Python code. Graphical file in terms of SVG format is also text. So that's why we can export a graphical file. For locations, you can consider the link as a text. So that's why you can show me a link which actually jump to Google Map. So you can consider okay, for text, there are so many things that actually it can be generated. Okay, another dimension. So let's talk about summarization. So I need to talk a little bit about SDG 4.7. That means the sustainability education. So I'm feel sleepy that night. So that's why I just want to say something, but don't want to write anything. So that's why I just switch on the cam, switch on the Zoom, and then speak for 20 minutes. And then I ask the system, okay, so please, based on those 20-minute Zoom video script, can you summarize, give me a 500 summary. And then summary should contain these following things. So background, significance, novelty, and potential impact. And then the following shows the script. So you can see the script is actually incomprehensible. So even by myself, I can't understand what the script is talking about. So maybe my pronunciation is not good enough. So that's why the Zoom cannot recognize every word, every term. And also I'm feel free to repeat that time. So that's why I may say the things not logically. So you can see the script here. So so this is the sharing, assessing, and integration of view and SDT, and you can see it's incomprehensible. But once I import this the 20-minute video script into the system actually can provide me a 500 essay. So quite decent looking, and I use it and then edit it and then for other purpose. So you can see even the draft materials is incomprehensible by us if we have a good script writing, or not the script, the prompt writing. The system can still gather information from this incomprehensible script. So of course, if your material is more structured, more understandable, so the summary will be even better. Okay, so this is the summarize function. Okay, what I also did is, okay, I want to classify courses, or I want to go to I want to know for common core courses. So for common core courses, there are so many common core courses, 170. I want to know which course are teaching about SDG number 7, which is on energy. So that's what I did is actually I first of all copy and paste all the course title and then put in the script. So you can see that the list of the course. So starting from CCST now to quantitative literacy, and then for 100 of them, and then write a prompt here, and then ask, okay, which course is about SDG number 7? The system, first of all, understand what is SDG 7. I haven't described to the system actually in the prompt. I just say SDG 7. First of all, system can understand, okay, SDG 7 is actually about affordable and clean energy. And then second is they try to categorize, select courses that is related to affordable and clean energy, and then give me a recommendation of courses, several courses, etc. So you can see summary, extracting information from database, doing categorization based on provided information. So that's the classification. So we can import the data and then do a classification immediately. And of course, instead of SDG 7, you can talk about something else. For example, can I find a course about find a course that have field trip, etc. Or find a course that is about universe, and then the system can also can also recommend several courses to you. Okay, so there are something that I want to talk about. So these are some examples that I tried before as a teacher. So when I teach a course, so there are also some other tips for you. So to generate more relevant answers. First of all, state the purpose. So the roles of the bot, the purpose of of raising the question. So this can help the system to provide more relevant answers. Second is provide examples. So for most of the situations right now, we don't give examples to the system yet. But if you give some examples to the system can provide more relevant answers. For example, okay, can you give me 5 kinds of fruits? So examples of fruits including apple, orange, grapes. And then by giving these examples, the system can provide more relevant answers. And you can keep asking follow-up questions if the answer is not totally perfect. Okay, for this kind of fruits, I want a red one instead of a green one. So can you provide me red fruits, etc.? And then the system can provide more relevant answers. And you can ask the GPT to rethink and confirm the answer. Okay, I think this answer may not be correct. Can you can you calculate the answer again, or can you give another answer to me? So you can ask the system to confirm the answer. Okay, can you confirm if this answer is correct? And then the system will run the algorithm once more and to verify the answer. And of course, you can also, besides giving answers, you can also give the logic or thinking logic, which is the chain of thought. So you can tell the ChatGPT, how should you tackle this question? Okay, of course, one of the strategy, okay, ask the system, okay, please answer the following question step by step. So this is already one of the strategy, and you can even tell the system to have more strategy. So instead of just telling the system to think step by step, you can telling the system, okay, please use the SWOT analysis to find out 4 dimensions and then compare between this and that, and then come up with the answer. So you can provide your logic, your thinking strategy to the system, and then facilitate the system to think more. So even the GPT system can guide you to think about the logic. So you can write some prompt and then ask the GPT to guide you think about the thinking logic, and then you import the logic to the system to give the answer. There are so many techniques and techniques and tips. So these are just very basic layman one. They are and they're actually for deep learning.ai. So which is this one. So they also provide a 1-hour training on the prompt engineering. So which launched maybe this week or last week. So and then you can learn in more details how to write a more detailed, advanced prompt. And if you notice, actually here he is Andrew which the co-founder of Coursera. So once he set up the business Coursera business, and then he go to he set up the deep learning.ai and create lots of trainings. So that's why if you want to write better prompts, so you can write here, or if you want to take some courses on different kinds of AI things, you can take these specializations. So I don't go into details. There are so many things. But if you really want to know writing prompts in details, become a expert in prompt writing, so you can study these courses. Oh, there are some tools for using ChatGPT. So this is the one. I haven't described is that there are some other buttons that I should tell you. So maybe we can pick this one again. So let's start from new topic, and then let me pick a one again. So for explanations, because there are some other functions. Actually, I want to illustrate. Okay, so this one again. So and then 3.5. Okay, and then the system will provide me the answer. And first of all, there are some functions. First of all, new topic. So because for the discussions, actually, the system will keep a record of your chat, of your conversation. So that's why you can ask follow-up questions, and you can based on the previous discussion, you can ask follow-up questions. If you want to talk about something new, you don't want to the system give the response based on the previous discussion. So you should pick the new topic such that all the memory will be gone, and then you can ask some other new questions again. And of course, you can also check the chat history. So if you want to keep your recording or discussions, you can actually have the chat history here. Just remember, if you refresh the browser, sometimes the chat history will be gone. So that's why remember, don't refresh the browser. Yeah. So if you want to keep the record, and of course, what you can do is you can copy it. So you can just click this button and then copy the chat history, and then just put on Google Doc or Microsoft Word. And you can even email, etc. And you can have this one. So you can you have for this icon, so you can see the details. So the quota. So you can ask, for example, 60 questions per day, and then for GB5 will be 200 per day. And actually, Hong Kong you will pay for this part, so don't worry. Okay, so and then the second thing, of course, you can have a GPT 3.5 or GPT-4, so you can pick on one of them. As I mentioned, so 4 will be better for logical things or mathematical calculations, or gives more detailed, comprehensive answers, etc. And then we also have settings. So there are several things. So a maximum response. So talking about the length of the answers. So 800. And then temperature. For temperature and top P is about whether the answer is creative, think out of the box or not. So if you can see from here, if it's you want a creative answers, so you should have a higher temperature. If you don't want to have a creative answer, so you should have a lower temperature. So that's why if you want to do something related to a creative writing, you should have a higher temperature. And of course, if you just want to have a fat chat, you should have a lower temperature. So this is the thing that you should think about. And of course, top P is also similar things. So you can reset or change anything. You can change the wording, so font size to make it bigger or smaller or huge, etc. Okay. So this is the explanation for the environment, so nothing else. And then again, copy the content, changing the engine. If you want to have a new conversation, click the new topic and then change the settings. Okay, so this is for staff. And then for students, you can still use a POE. So you can access POE, the Poe, through your iPhone or through the PC. And then you just log in through your personal account, a Gmail, etc. And then you can get into this system. So let me have some more demonstration. So for POE, there are some other several kinds of bots. So some of them is good at writing. Some of them is good at logical explanations. Some of them is good at programming. Some of them is good for general application, which is ChatGPT. And we have provided a guide to how to use it, so you can check for details. And then, but again, here shows examples. So for ChatGPT, we ask again, it's very similar. So let me give an example again. So once you get into the GPT, and then the system will again give similar answers. You can see it's very similar to what a Hong Kong U ChatGPT is provide. But of course, there are some other functions. For example, you can click these terms, and then we'll explain more about. Can you tell me more about SDG 4 instead of 4.5? And there are so many details, and you can chat just like a Wikipedia, and you can chat this one by one, and then explore more information. And then the second thing that I want to illustrate for POE is you can see they also will provide some suggestion of the follow question. So you don't need to think the follow by yourself. You can have some other examples. Here, you can have some other things, etc. Advice, parenting. So this is a common topic. These are some questions related to this prompt for this response. Now, of course, we have GPT-4, and we have some other topics, and things are very similar. So I don't go into details. Okay, so this is the POE. So again, as I mentioned, for staff, you can use the Hong Kong U GPT already. And I wish students can use it during the summer. And then, but even if you can't use the Hong Kong U version, you can still use the POE, the Poe version, so which is accessible in Hong Kong. Okay, so let me quickly go through the rest of the slides. So of course, for the roles of the board, you can use it for different purposes. So from UNESCO, so they published a report last week, I guess, so in April. So and various applications as a in TNL situation. So for the co-designer, for tutor, for guide, for coach, etc. And then here shows some suggestions. So you can use it for what kind of purpose in TNL. So I don't go in details. You can read this UNESCO report. It's quite interesting. So I suggest you to read. And the second is about detection. So let me see if still I have some time. Yes, I still have some time. I can have a demonstration later a little bit. So on the turn-in detection. So but just a quick comment is that actually the AI detector, they are AI content detector. There are several of them. So GPT-0 is the most common one. OpenAI text classifier is the official one, so created by OpenAI. Turn-in an inbuilt AI detector already, and you can see here show a screenshot. I asked my intern to import the content. So you can see there are some, here shows the result, and actually for the whole content is actually by AI, so written by AI. So you can see, first of all, the system cannot completely find out all the content. For example, for a turn-in engine. Second, we realized that there are some false positive cases. That means students write by themselves, but the system dedicate or indicate is a content generated by AI. So this is false positive cases, and we found out there are a significant proportion of the content cases with false positive cases. So that's why, as a teacher, you should not just rely on this metric or the highlights. You have to work with the teachers one by one later on to find out whether he or she used ChatGPT to write the content, or actually write by himself or herself. Okay. So if we have time later on at the end, so I can give a demonstration. And of course, there are lots of AI literacy training. Hong Kong U, for us, we will provide several trainings more on various of things. So, and we will provide recording so you can have a look. And then, but if you want to go for cross-university AI literacy training, so please go to this link. So this is a TDLEG project. And there will be lots of conference events and trainings on AI, and in particular for the June 2023, we'll start to have the first event. So generative AI conferencing for Hong Kong higher education. You can check for more details. Okay, so that's what I want to share. So let me go back to the page first. So let me jump to a certain page. Yes. And by the way, so if you want to know more about technical details, so please go to this link, the recording. So let me post the link again. So for the slides, so you can have the slides, and you can have the slides, and you can have the recordings ready. So please check the email. Okay. So the rest of the time, so I will spend time to answer the question. So feel free to raise questions in the system, and then let me see if I can answer some of them. So please provide the recording workshop. So please check your email, reminder email. So we should have provided the link for the pilot training already. So of course, for today's webinar or workshop, we will also record and also provide the link later on. So please check the follow-up email later on. Okay, so would like to know the steps to submit Excel or SPSS data to analyze by ChatGPT. I actually I'm not from social science, so that's why I haven't checked in details. But I know from I read this news from this discussion from a political science teacher in US. So he able to use it for the analysis. So let me see if I can gather these examples and put in the slides later on. Yeah, so he mentioned he able to do everything on GPT, even the statistical analysis. So GPT seems to have the searching ability now. Not yet. So I know in the maybe there may be some updates, but as far as I know, it's not yet. So but the Microsoft Bing, they have the searching ability, so they can search the information, update information. So not just depend on the database. So what's the meaning of limited access? I think is you are referring to this one. I think it's actually the number of quota. So you can see for P1.5 we can ask 200 questions per day, and then for GPT-4 is 60. So I think this is the reason we have the so-called limited access. So can we input the script into ChatGPT, and then scripts are very long? Yes, that's what I tried. 20-minute script, and then what I did is I tried to break it into 3 parts and then import them one by one and then do the analysis. So you can actually have a very long, even 20-minute script fit in it, and then to do the summary. How to ask ChatGPT to summarize a Zoom video? Yes, that's what I did. Is we switch on the Zoom and then record it and then allow it to have the transcript, and then we copy the transcript. Get the transcript from your Zoom account and then put into GPT as a appendix, as a part of the script, and then use it for the summary. Yeah, so it's quite, and even you can see my example is even is not comprehensive by myself. So the system can still able to understand and then write something. So of course, the important is that you have to give some instruction first. So okay, it's about SDG. So you should talk about, so the following script should be about this 4 dimensions. So you have to include this. Is this service free to students? For Hong Kong U version, I hope you can use it later on, but you will still have the free version through the POE. So you can use the GPT-4 or ChatGPT through the POE, so which is free to use right now. Can we use any add-in in the POE? I haven't checked. You can have a look, but I realized there is something called create a bot, so you may use it for some other purpose. So you may check for that for more for details. Okay, so some colleagues ask whether we can use it to draw some figures. So the question is there any other tools beyond Midjourney that can draw things? Stable Diffusion is one of them. So so that's why it's good. So please join the coming webinar. So this one. So we will talk about Stable Diffusion on the mid of 19. Yes. So we will talk about using Stable Diffusion to draw things. So we have similar functions. Midjourney become more and more powerful. In my opinion, I subscribe Midjourney. I have a monthly subscription. So I realized Midjourney become more and more powerful. But if you want to use some free tools and online tools, so they are Stable Diffusion. So I will talk about this that day. So can PGS students use you have to check with ITS for the schedule whether when students can use the ChatGPT. Okay, the slides cannot find, so let me check the link again, so see if it's working. Yes, it works, so I think it should be okay. Okay, so okay, the workshop is full. Okay, let me tell them, yeah. So and then to see if there will be online workshop later on. Yeah. So thanks for remind. So let me ask them for some inform them. Please check the link. So yes, we will provide the slides link later on. So but you can also get from the chat from the chat box. Whether you can use GPT to create slides for me, not yet, but there are some other AI tools already. So you can fit in your bullet point and then the system can create the slides for you. And of course, for Microsoft Copilot, which will be launched later, they also can do similar, so even more automate. So you can use it once you can write the things on the Word document, and then it can be converted to Microsoft into PowerPoint with bullets and points and slide design and animation immediately. This is not, I checked, it's not available right now, but it will be released soon for Microsoft Office 365. If you just want to make slides for yourself, you can, there are already some existing tools, you can find them online. So yeah, so you can just type AI and then slides creation, and then you can find some examples. Okay, and let me see if I have time for some demonstration, maybe after answering all these questions. Is it easiest way to generate tables from GPT? I noticed that the system can, for the official ChatGPT, it can create tables. So I believe this one should be also, but I haven't tried before. So grant. So some colleagues mentioned you cannot use the Hong Kong U ChatGPT 4. You may need to contact ITS for the information. So if you have any accessibility issues, you can't access the system, so please contact ITS. So the price list in Hong Kong U ChatGPT, do we have to pay? No. So Hong Kong U will pay for you. So but so that's why we have to set the quota. So 200 for 3.5 and then 60 for GPT-4. So otherwise, some people may may use it in the wrong way. So and then yes, so which is not healthy. So that's why we ITS set up a quota. So but you don't need to pay. Hong Kong U will the university will pay for you. Is there any other government policy on the use yet? I haven't heard. So you may need to check with the government for more details. And this from Education Bureau, because I'm also a school manager in one of the secondary school. I haven't heard also about on this policy in the Education Bureau. Yeah, so in Education Bureau, that means K-12 and higher education, I haven't heard about this yet. Yes, I found a link that yes, another seminar. Yes, true. So let me see, is there any other things that I want to, okay. So any difference about POE and Hong Kong U? I think it should be the same because we are using the same engine. So both are connected to OpenAI GPT engine. So that's why the answer should be different. But you can see there are some difference in terms of the POE can provide some tagging. So you can click this for more information, and they also provide some other questions. So for you to further explore. So this can be provided, is not provided in Hong Kong U system yet. So for the rest of the things is actually the same, yes. But for POE, they may have some more functions. But again, well, of course, if you want to write something more sensitive, first of all, don't try to input things that are too sensitive, because OpenAI will get your information, or they will store your information maybe, although they will not use it for purpose. So that's what they said. But if you write things on POE, may have a record. For Hong Kong U version, I haven't checked yet. You have to check with ITS whether they will keep the record of your typing of your prompt. So I think that's something you have to be aware. So that's why don't import something which is sensitive, personal sensitive. When OpenAI trains its GPT, how often do they train it? So I think you should check this webinar for more details on these technical things. In my opinion, they don't train quite often. Yes, but they will keep improving, but they don't train often. Yeah, so they don't train too frequently. But you can, for more technical details, so you can check this recording for more details. And you can see Hong Kong U College actually did a great job. So even before the release of ChatGPT, there are already some Hong Kong U College providing webinar on these language model things already. So we are doing some great job in Hong Kong U, so on data science. So can GPT design a poster? No. So that's why I suggest you to go to this workshop. So on Canva. So on Canva to design poster. So for figures, or drawings, you can use draw the Stable Diffusion. If you're talking about poster or some leaflets, etc., you can go for the Canva AI. For Canva AI, they have some limitations because you have to pay in order to have more powerful function. So that's why you may still need to go online to find some other tools to design poster. Yes, 2 questions a day from what time each day. So you have to ask ITS for more information. Okay. So thanks for raising the questions. I guess this is the end of this training. If you still want to know what's inside the Moodle, turn it in. I can still give a demonstration, quick demonstration. But officially, that's the end of today's training. So first of all, welcome to today's webinar. And please check if you want to share the link to the deck or recording to somebody else is okay. We will provide the links later on. If you want to do something else, if you want to talk to us, your situation, so feel free to talk to us on this. I mean, if you have some interesting ideas on using ChatGPT, feel free to contact us. We want to know. And then we will have a list of trainings. So feel free to attend some of them. If you want to help us to curate the AI policy in Hong Kong U, so please attend some of the discussion forums. You can express yourself. You can talk about your opinion, and then maybe in the future, your opinion or suggestion become part of the AI policy. Yes, in Hong Kong U. Okay, so that's the end of today's training. So if you still want to know about the AI detection things in 20 so I can give a demonstration right now. But for the rest of you, you can feel free to enjoy the lunch. Okay, so for the rest of you, you want to I believe you want to know more about the AI detection, right? So first of all, let me go to the Moodle system first. So I can show you some demo. I just less than 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, so let me share the screen again. Okay, so here is the system. So it's very simple generic course. And then if you go to here, you will have the group project report. So which is as a teacher, you don't need to do something extra. The system itself will have an inbuilt function for you already. Okay, so and then what I want to do is I try to go for this one. So first of all, in the system, they will have the similarity, which is the plagiarism detection. And you can see my intern, most of our content are completely new, just 1%. Show me later, yes. And then you can see this is the plagiarism detection. So things are completely new. You can't find things that actually can be stored in the database. So it's just 1% plagiarism. But you can see from here is the AI score, so 44%. And then if you click this link, it will jump to another system. And then we'll jump to another page. So first of all, for AI detection, it's not from database. So it's actually all by algorithm. So detection by algorithm, not by searching the database itself. So that's why there will be more false positive case. So first thing, for example, this is the prompt that actually written by student, but it actually detects as a written by machine. So this is false positive case. And I can show you some other false positive case. This is also by human, but the system itself detects by AI. And even here, it's also by human. So because the things are very dedicated to our customer on the product. So these are actually by human, but the system itself becomes AI detected. So these are some false positive case you have to be aware. Yes, for prompting, etc. And of course, there are some situations that actually for this one is by machine, but it can't be detected. So that's why it can be used as an indicator showing there's a possibility the student in some situations written just copy and paste the things from ChatGPT to your assignment, but it's not the direct evidence because there are some false case. Yes, some here is a false positive, and here is a false negative. Okay, so this is just a quick demonstration. So but we don't have a dashboard here showing. So we have to go to each document one by one, and you can find the AI score right here. So this is still the plagiarism detection. Okay, so that's the quick sharing. So I hope I have the demonstration ready, demonstrating the things that I did. Oh, can the students see the score? No, the students can't see the score right now. So that's why if you are students, I suggest you not to. You should write your own content. Yes, I also keep the record. So keep a record of the original writing. So the writing, the draft, your thinking process, you have to keep a record as an evidence. It will be better. Do you know if it is a false positive or false negative? Yeah, so we don't have any ideas. Yeah, and these are what we don't have any ideas when it is false positive negative. So that's why I don't have any suggestions yet, but I just want to mention, so there we identify there are lots a number of false positive case in turning in AI detection. So what I suggest you can use multiple AI detector. For example, the OpenAI official one, and also the most popular one, the GPT-0. And then you use several engines for the verification. I think will be more helpful, more based on the detection result of several engines, you can have a better answer whether there will be false positive. There will be the content is page is the AI is written by AI or not. How can you differentiate is by human by AI? I have some tricks. I will tell if you want to know about those tricks, you can contact me. I know some tricks. First of all, as a teacher, you should design some questions which is can't be answered by GPT, and there are lots of limitations in GPT right now. So if you are talking about sequencing, if you are talking about positions, if you are talking about timing, and some multiple logical reasoning, so GPT is not good right now. So you as a teacher, you can think about those questions. So try to ask students to answer questions that actually get involved on these few things, these few skills. Another dimension is you try to write a question that makes the system to create wrong answers. There are some tricks. There are some tricks that actually can stimulate the system to generate wrong answer. So you can include in the instructions. Okay, so there are some tricks by I want to if you want to know more, so feel free to contact me. Is there any correlation between similarity index and AI score? No. So it's completely two different things. So that's why I also want to mention to colleagues. So similarity index is actually based on the existing database. So they have direct evidence and quite solid evidence. But for AI score, is compiled by algorithm. So they don't have any completely direct evidence on this. So these two don't have any correlation, and they come up with from different mechanism. So you should treat these two scores differently. Yes, turn it in is actually all installed. So that's why in this semester, if you ask students to submit essays, all the essays will be first of all checked by plagiarism, second checked by AI detection. So all will be in existing turn-in system already. You don't need to switch on anything. Will a AI detection score change time to time? I can say yes, because but it will not decrease. So we try several times, so the detection score become higher and higher. So my interpretation is the system able to find out more contents related to AI, or basically find a better algorithm, find easier to find out the contents detected by AI. So in our detection, in our experiment, we found the scores become higher and higher weeks after weeks. That means and we realize that it's actually more able to identify the contents created by AI, because we test, right? So we import some AI generated content in the system. At the beginning, it can't be detected. Later on, 1 or 2 weeks later, it can be detected. Yeah, so you can foresee it should have a higher and higher score, and I don't think the score will be lower and lower. Yeah, because of the ability of the AI detection. Okay, so that's the end. So I hope I have a quick demonstration of those AI detection things. Again, as a student, so please don't use the tools and then copy and paste as an answer. So you need to understand the content and rewrite and refer and do anything. Okay, so that's all. Thank you very much for attending. So see you in some other events.